Hello everyone, and welcome to my Bold and Beautiful Today update channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Sheila plays nanny to Eric, helps ex recover to become new Forrester queen? The bold and the beautiful spoilers reveal that the show's been enough heavy-handed with all the hints about Eric Forrester not being the same. Eric survived, but his recovery process is sure to be long and laborious. Rich Forrester is thankful that John Finnegan's treatment kept Eric around, but he's still second-guessing whether it was the right call to authorize the procedure. Eric didn't want to be kept alive if he'd have to settle for a lower quality of life, so Rich worries that his pater will end up abhorring him if his recovery doesn't go well. Since B&B's playing up this option, we should consider the possibility that Eric will indeed come resentful over his wishes not being admired. Eric may grow frustrated by his own limitations and condemn Ridge on some position when he can't do the effects he still wants to do. It's easy to imagine Eric shutting out Ridge, Donna Logan and all his other loved bones. Under those circumstances, Eric may cut himself off from the world and grouch in private over his stalled recovery. Maybe that's where Sheila Carter could crop as a surprising new idol of the story, at least from Eric's perspective. Sheila might use this occasion to bond with Eric again and play nanny since she indeed used to be one. What if Sheila's got the magic touch and can help Eric completely heal? It'd be intriguing to see Sheila come the coming phenomenon worker who finishes what Finn started. Sheila might guide Eric when it comes to some physical remedy and give him some Vim addresses along the way. Eric preliminarily abominated Sheila for all the pain she caused his family, but effects could change if he feels betrayed by that same family now. Perhaps Eric will feel like Steffi Forrester, Bridget Forrester and the others dragooned Ridge to keep him alive. Since Eric may end up feeling trapped in his own body in numerous ways, he could witness a personality change and open his heart to someone like Sheila formerly more. Eric might make Sheila the new dame of the family if she helps him recover when others can't. Sheila would love to be the coming Forrester queen and would no doubt hope this would lead to winning Finn over. Of course, nothing is ever that simple with Sheila, but she might smell a new path to Forrester acceptance and at least try to take this route. The bold and the beautiful spoilers say Eric could bear in some changeable ways soon, so stay tuned for updates on any Sheila news that might come part of his story. Eric has partial amnesia, believes he is in love with Sheila. The bold and the beautiful spoilers indicate that Eric Forrester is awake, but he's slightly talking. Eric seems to be looking from person to person trying to get his comportments. Still, Eric doesn't feel to be as drawn to Donna Logan as he was before his collapse. Could Eric believe he's in love with someone from his history, maybe Sheila Carter? The bold and the beautiful spoilers, Eric Forrester once loved Sheila Carter. Eric, like all of the other Forresters, hates Sheila now, but Eric formerly loved Sheila and was indeed married to her. Eric believed that Sheila was a good person and only Lauren Fenmore was willing to speak against Sheila at the time. Still, Lauren's hubby forgave Sheila and swore her to secretiveness. Ultimately, Eric learned the verity about Sheila and disassociated her. Still, Sheila has come after the Forresters on several occasions, attacking several members of the family including Taylor Hayes and Brooke Logan to Eric's granddaughter Steffi Forrester. B&B spoilers, Eric Forrester wants to be back on top of the fashion world. The bold and the beautiful spoilers reveal that when Eric was at the top of the fashion world, he was with Sheila for part of that time. Now that Eric seems to want to reclaim his youth, maybe he may have partial amnesia and feel like he's back in that time frame. Could Eric's confused look have commodity to do with amnesia? Flashback, Eric was visited by Stephanie Forrester when he had his near-death experience. Eric and Stephanie separated many times, but always set up their way back together. Suppose Eric came back but was stuck in that spot in his mind. Eric could shock everyone by suddenly asking for Sheila rather of Donna. Sheila Carter would be thrilled. Imagine Sheila coming back into Eric's world at his request. Sheila would be thrilled that no one could force her to go down and might indeed try to marry Eric for his plutocrat. This would clearly shake up the Forrester family if Eric were to do anything close to marrying Sheila. Can Donna manage to get through to him? Eric would ultimately come back to his old tone, but just imagine the conflict until he did. Eric hates Sheila with a passion. What would he do if he set up himself at the balcony with her and suddenly got his memory back? Will Eric have amnesia when it's all said and done? The side goods of this procedure are unknown, so only time will tell. Be sure to catch up on everything passing with B&B right now. Eric's confusion, no signs of recognition. Has he awakened with amnesia? The bold and the beautiful spoilers and rumors tease Eric Forrester's confusion, coupled with no signs or recognition when he woke up, might point to coma amnesia. When he first recaptured knowledge, he sounded confused as to who all were around him, indeed Donna Logan, and only said Merry Christmas when he saw decorations. The bold and the beautiful spoilers, how long did he code? One important question would be, how long did Eric lie? How long was his heart stopped before they got him back? Could it have caused brain damage? It doesn't take veritably long for the brain to be affected by a heart stopping, because the heart stops everything. The oxygen is carried to the brain in the blood. Yet, he did fade the Christmas decorations and knew to say Merry Christmas indeed if he didn't fade his favored bones. So that doesn't feel to indicate brain damage. Indeed, though Eric was unconscious from the moment he was brought to the sanitarium from the Forrester manse, he'd have been under anesthesia to suffer the operation. Occasionally being anesthetized can beget some temporary or partial amnesia, depending on which part of his brain is affected. B&B spoilers, post-operative amnesia not unusual. Post-operative amnesia isn't unusual. Indeed, if a case hasn't had to be resuscitated, it can be a side effect of the anesthesia, as preliminarily mentioned. Every suggestion is that Eric's not fading his favored bones. Is simply this type of temporary amnesia, incompletely from being in a coma for several days and maybe from anesthesia. Ridge Forrester is likely to be the most worried. His biggest fear was allowing extraordinary life-saving measures to be taken, only for him to no way be the same. Soon everyone will realize that Eric's partial postoperative amnesia is temporary, and he'll flash back everyone. Once memories may come first, Eric's loved bones. We'll have to be patient, and may indeed worry about Alzheimer's, since once recollections may come back first. That might regard for Eric acting confused about who his favored bones were, but saying Merry Christmas when he honored Christmas decorations in his sanitarium room. When Eric had his ashole of body experience, corridor of his life from the once flashed before his eyes, including recollections of his late woman, Stephanie Forrester. Stephanie sounded to want him to stay in the afterlife, but he snappily returned to Earth and the present, once he was shocked back to life. Eric's amnesia should gradationally resolve as his body and brain heals. Eric refuses to be a burden, pushes Donna down. The bold and the beautiful spoilers indicate that Eric Forrester may be off the ventilator and talking, but that doesn't mean that his recovery is a given. The Forresters and the Logans are all joyously happy that Eric is awake. Still, Eric is far from being back to his old tone again. Ridge needs to know how his father's future will be affected by all of this. Will Eric gain back the same quality of life he'd had this procedure? Brooke Logan has the same enterprises. Brooke has known Eric for decades and loves him veritably much. Brooke knows that Eric doesn't want to be an invalid. Eric wants to be a productive existent and live the life that he's used to living. Eric wants to return to fashion and run Forrester Creations. B&B spoilers, Ridge Forrester seems to anticipate too important. The bold and the beautiful spoilers reveal that John Finnegan will try to explain to Ridge that Eric isn't going to incontinently return to his old tone. Eric is recovering from a life-hanging fire. Eric isn't going to rally and be right back to work. Eric needs time to get himself back together. Eric needs time to get himself back together and see where he goes from then. Will Ridge eventually get the point that Finn is trying to make to him, or will he still push for faster progress?